So let's perhaps talk a little bit about the manifesto and what it is about this enjoyment factor that you've started to recognise, whether that's for and we'll talk about the individuals, the organisations, and just then the collective. But what is it about the enjoyment factor that makes it so vital for living our best life?
Yeah, look, I think the first thing to point out about enjoyment, it is very much about the individual. The individual was the one who felt it, who said, like you said, why am I here? It's funny, you and I remember an old politician named Paul Keating who said the recession was the one we had to have. The COVID, I suspect, was the thing was the pause we had to have, because people were getting stressed out at the time. And then suddenly when it all came and they had to actually stop for a great long period of time and think about it, it was a very individual thing, no matter what the business said. Now, when we talk about enjoyment is a very personal thing. I can't tell you what you should enjoy. You are the only person who can decide what you enjoy. You are in control. It's the time you are absolutely in control. And any time you enjoy yourself, whether it be during at work or at the weekend, you are actually being your true self. You're actually using and expressing gifts that you've got. You sometimes might not even recognise that you're doing so, but you are actively being the person you're meant to be, using the gifts that you've got. This is all a sort of thinking that was going through people's minds. But not so much, where's the company going? Where's business going? Where's the world going? Where am I going? What's going to happen to me? And so when I talk about enjoyment is the area which is the positive part of life. I mean, a lot of people think about enjoyment as, a bit of fun and then, had a good time and that's it. But in the context that you and I are talking about it, if you're not enjoying life, you're really not, for a start, you're stressed. And all these issues, like we were told, something like 70% of the employed population were not engaged in their work. There was this real square pegs in round holes, as an expression I would use, that what we were doing. So I'm actually saying it's free choice. You're in control. It's using your talents. This is what life, we are suddenly saying, this is what I want to work through. This is what is going to tell me why I'm here, because through what I enjoy is what it means. I have a one-liner. I don't know if I might just say this, Sally, a one-liner which has been the basis of my business for years. When you lose yourself in what you love, you find yourself. The real you comes to the surface.
Yeah, very much so. And if we look at that analogy and map that across the sports from a context perspective, renowned sporting people know that when they hit the zone, they've got all their skills, their natural talents, their training is just enabling them to be in that moment and enjoy really what they're doing. They're in the zone. And that's what you're saying here. When you're actually enjoying yourself in whatever pursuit that may be, whether that's work or play or a combination of work and play that can be combined together, you actually lose yourself. Therefore, you find yourself. And that's those moments are when you lose time and those types of things, because you've just thoroughly enjoyed yourself.